Welcome back, everyone. This week we watched Fight Club during kind of our off week. This one is best watched completely blind, so I've seen it many times. I've even read the book. What did you guys think?
This is my second time watching the movie. It will never compare to the first time. The first initial it's a lot more mind bending. When you watch it a second time, you kind of know what's happening, know what to expect, and you can look for things, but it's never the same as watching it the first time.
Well said.
Yeah, I'll agree with the mind bending thing. This is my first time watching it. So, yeah, I would definitely agree with the mind bending thing. Some of the stuff I didn't quite understand where it was going. By the end of it, I was caught up. It really messed with your thought process as to what happened where and stuff, but it did make sense in most cases.
This movie's fun because the second time going through, you're like, oh, that foreshadowing. This is a good example of a really good book adaptation. After having read the book, they're pretty mirror image. The movie matches it very well. There's a lot of memes that come from this movie, one of which is, rule number one is you don't talk about Fight Club. Yeah, it's very good, I guess, almost social commentary. Yeah, no, very good social commentary movie as well. I mean, really dive into it. Other than that, it's a mind bend. Not too much to be said because I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
And honestly, for this movie, I understand not wanting to spoil much.
What would you guys rate it?
This is one of my favorite movies. I would give it a 10, not because it is some groundbreaking movie or generation. It's just one of my favorite movies, and I don't think I can find anything that I dislike about it.
I would honestly, with the premise and how well executed it is, I would have to give it probably a 9 because it's executed really well. The foreshadowing, they did it very well so that for the first time watching, you have no idea what's going on for most of it. You can take guesses, but it's like, oh, that's probably not it until pretty close to the end. So I think they just did a very good job. The shots they did a good job. I'm really impressed with the cinematography and the script for this movie.
Yeah, I was impressed with the script, cinematography, especially for it being 1999 film. I thought it's held up to the times. There were some key moments, especially towards the end, where I was like, well, that and that doesn't make sense. Just playing it back in my head when certain stuff happened. But you could probably go back and try to figure out through with a fine-tooth comb on how everything fits, and you probably catch that more so on the second watch than the first watch.
Yeah, the second watch, you just going back to see what you missed that could have helped you find out sooner.
I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely not one of my favorite movies, but it's one that is really well made and just really well done. If you like mind-bending movies, this is definitely a good watch for you.
Exactly.
100%.
If you like alpha male movies, this is the movie for you.
Yeah, no, that's another fair point.
As far as alpha male movie goes, this one, American Psycho, Rocky. I can make a list of alpha male movies. There's a group of guys, and there's a tendency that men tend to have where they want to be the best, just the best, either the best version of themselves or the best around. And they go into this phase where like they're on the grind. And recently it's been embodied by the Sigma male grind set wave. And they tend to latch on to movies like Fight Club or American Psycho, which is reject modernity. Reject the modern, embrace masculinity. This movie tends to be one of the pillars.
Well, yeah, no, I can see it. The whole movie is, in a way, somewhat rejects the status quo.
Book's good. The book is quite good.
So the comparison between the movie and the book, you would say it's very well done.
It's so well done when the fact that it's hard for me to like separate them, if that makes sense. Like remembering things, like, oh, did that happen in the book or the movie? Just because of how closely they were.
Well, that's good. It's not all the time you see a book adaptation that's that good but well done. Don't
almost never nowadays.
Yeah, no, fair.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think of others that I would say were kind of almost like a copy and paste from
Lord of the Rings, almost. Like there were some moments where they didn't exactly do it, but it's as close as they were going to get on a movie.
There are things they left out, but honestly, with the movies for their time being some of the longest movies out there, I think what they did have in it was significant. I think there's 30 extra minutes on each movie of cut footage that was from the book that they thought wasn't necessary.
Yeah, they had like a whole bunch of that and stuff, and then I think the director,
Yeah, I know they've been talking about putting that in now.
like, yeah, putting in a lot of the extra stuff. Like they had like at least over
Mhm.
4 hours for each movie, I
Yeah.
think is what they said, of extra footage that they could put in to the movies.
They'd be
Yeah.
so long. They'd be so long.
But have you watched those movies
They
though? They're
would be
so
so
good.
long.
I know.
Last time I went to Andrews, we found his movie set for Lord of the Rings. And he's like,
I
I'm
just
gonna
have I have
watch
the
it.
extended edition of the first movie. That's all I have.
The first
Out
one.
at like a
And
thrift store.
he's like, I'm gonna watch it. Still hasn't watched it.
It's so long. It's so
Oh no, it's
long.
longer than 45 minutes. I'm done. I'm out.
I can do a whole series on the alpha male movies. That'd be fun.
All right, do we want to end it here?
Yeah. All right, Zach.
I do think Bob is a good titular character. All right.
Oh. The movie choice for next week is the brand new movie Top Gun Maverick. I'm very excited, very happy for this movie. It's been such a long wait for this movie, and I can't wait to get into a discussion for this. So join us next week for that.